Good morning, guys. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be going over this thing. This is my new daily camera. This is what I'm going to carry with me basically every day. This is the Canon EOS R50 with the 85mm f2 lens. And out the front, I just have a Canon circular polarizer. I like to either have a circular polarizer or a ND filter or some kind of glass on the front of my lens. I'll get deeper into why in a separate video if you guys want to, maybe a YouTube short, but I like having something on the front of my camera. But let's step into a little bit more, if I can get my lens cap back on. There we go. Step into a little bit more about why I chose this camera. So let's get right into why I really bought this camera. I got some specs up here. I'm gonna run through them real quick. I don't want to bore you with all of this nerdy stuff. Personally, I don't like it. I prefer the actual lens review and camera review of going out and shooting with it. But this Canon EOS R50, we're working with the image processor. We got a Digic X, so this is a very fast one. It's almost the same ones as in the newer, R8s and there are other new mirrorless ones, R6s. It has the same dual pixel CMOS autofocus, which is amazing. And you'll see a clip of the autofocus locked on to like my eye or something. But it is amazing, spot on autofocus, and I'll show you guys some photos in a second and we'll run through them and you'll be able to see how good the autofocus is. We only have one SD card slot, and that's going to be down here in the bottom. One SD card slot, but I'm not too mad about that. 2 SD card slots would be nice for, say, if you're shooting a wedding or anything and you're scared. But as for me, I just shoot seniors, I shoot engagements, I shoot sports, so I'm not too worried about that. And I can quickly see if I have a corrupted card. These do come with the smaller of the Canon batteries. These are the LPE17s, and I left my camera on in manual mode, and I got about 4 hours of just idling there. So not bad, not great. It is a very small camera though, so I'm not mad about that. I think it goes right into that nice little door. We have the RF mount here. We have RFS. This is an APS-C lens or APS-C camera. So obviously your RF S is going to work better, but all RF lenses work amazing. Moving on to the image sensor here, we have 24.2 megapixels, 22.3 by 14.9 millimeter sensor right in there. And none of you guys really care much about this, that's why I'm running through it so quickly. Aspect ratio 3:2. You can use 16:9 for videos, but keep it in 3:2 just so we have natural aspect, and crop it later. Let's see. Autofocus, let's move on to this. This is what we're really important. We got that dual pixel CMOS autofocus. We have 651 autofocus zones in this camera, so it's from edge to edge, edge to edge. It's amazing. Tracking is amazing, needless to say. We have 4,500 selectable autofocus points. Again, a lot more than I need, more than you will ever need for a senior shoot, engagements, cars, anything like that, even wildlife. There's a lot of different available autofocus areas. We got spot, we got one spot, we got expand autofocus, we got another expand autofocus round, we have flexible zones 1, 2, and 3. We get into that. Completely separate video. We're going to dive really deep into this camera, and we're going to teach you guys how to become a professional with this camera. Am I professional? We're getting there. I work at a professional studio photography, but I have not used this camera for more than a month and a half, so I'm not a professional in this camera. Then we have whole area autofocus, which takes up the whole, screen and your whole autofocus area, that being the 651 points. We have multiple autofocus detection. We have auto, which is going to scroll through all of these and give you the most accurate one that it chooses. We got people, animal, that being dogs, cats, birds, squirrels. You'll see a picture of a squirrel. And vehicles, motorcycles, cars, airplanes. We also have eye autofocus, which is amazing for seniors. And when they, even if it's on the back of their head, they turn around, it'll lock on their eye, get really crisp, sharp images, especially when you're shooting on a low aperture, such as f2, f1.8, f1.4, f1.2. You really want to be able to lock onto the eye, so the eye is tag sharp, but then everything else kind of gets blown back, and it's a great portrait. Moving on to the shutter, we have an electric first curtain shutter, and then we also have a full electric shutter. So if I'm shooting a wedding, or if I'm shooting at a thing where you want to be quieter, you're gonna want that. And really, when you get that electric first curtain, you're going to be going into more specific things, such as if you're shooting in weddings where you don't want your shutter sound. And quite frankly, this shutter sound is quite loud. Take the SD card out and we'll let this shutter go. It's louder than I would like if I'm shooting, say, at a wedding or an engagement. So that electric curtain is going to help you. With the electric curtain and electric shutter speed, we can get 1/8,000ths of a second. So that is more than enough that I'm ever going to need for, say, golf or baseball, soccer, those sports that I shoot. Same with wildlife, fast-moving things like birds. And then with your electric first curtain shutter, we can work on 1/4000th of a second, which again is more than you'll ever need. You start pushing your ISO up to that 3200 and you will still be good. Moving on to the lens, I'm not going to bore you too much. 85mm f2 ISM macro. This has those STM motors, so it's not the greatest and fastest thing you've ever seen in your life, but it's still really good. On the side here we have autofocus, manual focus, stabilizers, and then over here we have just more simple manual focusing things where we can do that macro, lock it, or in between, or we have that full autofocus line. 9 aperture blades, and we have 12 elements inside of this lens, so it's not heavy, it's not light. I can easily carry this around. Again, Canon filter on the front, peak design clip on the bottom. Let's move into some of these photos, and then we'll dive deeper into this.
Okay, so we made it into Lightroom, and I apologize that I don't have a webcam with me, but we're just looking at photos, so it doesn't matter too much. We're going to run through a series of photos, a couple different scenarios, and we will, look at the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it's mostly good, but let's get started. So here's the first one that we're going to look at, 85mm, obviously, and this was shot wide open at f2. I specifically chose this shot just because we did have some light in the background, and then we had a human subject. The bokeh in the background is honestly quite impressive for being at a f2, and you can see it's perfectly round and it looks really good. Could it be better at f1.8, f1.4, f1.2? Yes, but is there a $2,000 difference or whatever the 85mm f1.4 is? In my opinion, no. The background here is beautifully blown out and it looks very acceptable to me. This is my presets, but this is it in RAW and it looks very good. Zooming in, we have a lot of detail in the hair, on the shirt, necklace looks good, eyes look good, everything looks really sharp. So this is a good photo. I would post this on Instagram and be happy with it. Moving on to a full body shot. Let me do that. There we go. Full body shot of me. This is where we can see just a couple issues in this lens. The first one being we have not a severe amount, but we do have some vignetting in the corners. If we look over in this corner here, 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 and here, mainly you can see it in this area just because of the white ground. That is not supposed to be white, or not supposed to be darker. This here is all vignetting. Is it severe? No, but it is there just to be clear. And coming into my face, you can see really sharp. You can see all my little flyaway hairs, and I am getting a haircut tomorrow, so yeah. You can see my little beard in which I need to shave, but really sharp. You can definitely clearly read the Lululemon logo from my hat. You can see my hairs, and this was locked onto my eye, so obviously my eyes are in focus. Not any severe chromatic aberration either up here on my hat or any of my clothes either, so I'm very happy with that. You can see my bow starts to come out of focus as I'm holding it behind me, but other than that, looks really good. And this was shot wide open at f2, and you can see the background, very nice bokeh balls up here. Looks really good. Very spherical, and the target back there is also blown out. So that I'm very happy with. Moving on to Total Ultra Challenge, took my camera with me, and this is where we get introduced into a couple issues with this lens. So this is the color graded, and this is a raw shot. Now if we take a peek at this raw shot, it looks good. There's no huge issues in it, but as we start zooming into it, we will start to see issues. But first, look at it. You can't really tell a huge, any huge issues. The background looks good, perfect blown out. He's in focus, but as we zoom in, we can see some pretty severe chromatic aberration right here, where this black backpack gets some purple haze on there. Especially right here, you can see it pretty bad, this purpley, and on the rings. Could this be fixed? Yes. I didn't do anything to fix it, but other than that, this is a very sharp photo. I mean, we can come up to the hat here and we can see each individual strand of the hat. Same with his hair. Each hair is tack sharp, and even his eye was locked on, even though it's looking through the binos. It looks really good. Other than that chromatic aberration, this is a very solid shot. Again, shot at f2 with this background being nice and blown out. I'm very happy with this shot. The guy I took the photo for was very happy with it, and he did not notice anything wrong with it. So that's that. It can be used as professional. We're going to move on to another shot, horizontal, where we stopped down to f5.6. You can see it's very sharp. It looks really good. We got this guy back here on the little moped thing, and he's out of focus, but still sharp. People in this general vicinity pulling their arrows. Motion's frozen, and really no chromatic aberration that I can see that's really apparent to me, and minimal vignetting as well. So these are good. Again, I'm not going to look too deep into these and pixel peep them. I'm not a professional photographer, but I do love photography, and I would be more than happy posting these. So this is color graded, and this is that raw. Coming more to my wheelhouse, cars. This is a old Chevy K10 that I saw outside, and this is beautiful. I mean, the details in this shot is just amazing. You can see the headlight. If you guys know, or if you guys can read this, let me know what it says, because I can read it, but I want to know if you can. But extremely sharp in this whole area where I was focused, and then the background just gets beautifully blown out, and it is, I mean, just brings your focus right to the point, and it looks really good. And the colors are amazing. Again, this is with my film preset pack. If you want any of these presets that they're going to be linked in the description below for you. Anyways, this is the raw, and then that's with my film presets. Moving on to animals. We got my dog Cooper, and this is obviously has a preset on it. This is a raw photo, and then this is my color grade, but the color grade just looks so good. The colors are super sharp, super vibrant, and just still a natural feel to them. And you can see Cooper's eyes are just tack sharp. I mean, you can see how sharp they are. No severe chromatic aberration, even though we do have some pretty harsh changes in color, but still it looks really good, and you can see all of his hairs, and there's no really chromatic aberration anywhere. Even on his collar it looks really good. So yeah, if you guys do want to take more time, you can pause the video and zoom in on these if you really want to, but not too big of a deal. Anyways, moving on. Here we have a really good look at what this camera can do in terms of bokeh. Back here we have those amazing spherical bars of bokeh, and it just looks so good. If I told someone I shot this at 1.4, I think they would believe me, just because of how good that bokeh looks on this f2.0 lens. And this little squirrel was having a great time. He was in full sprint, and I was shooting at 1/1000 ISO 1600, and we just caught him. And we have him in focus. We had that animal detect on, and it got him nice and in focus. You can see each hair on his body, and just how cute this little squirrel is. And this looks very good to me. The bokeh again is great. He's sharp. This stick is on sharp, but then some of this tree starts to go out of focus as we go through that plane of focus. The final shot we're going to look at here is the Can-Am Maverick. If you guys haven't seen this on the channel yet, there's a bunch of videos that you can check out on this channel about this Maverick, and it's getting some work done on it right now, and it'll be a couple new videos coming out on this. If you guys want to see that, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Anyways, this was shot at f8, and you can see it's very sharp. You can see the little water droplets on it, and it looks good. I would be more than happy giving this to a client if this was their photo shoot with their vehicle, and everything looks really good. There's no severe chromatic aberration, even over here where we have the black tie rods coming into this tan. There's no chromatic aberration that I can tell, and I haven't done any fixes on that. I'm leaving these as raw as they can be, other than my presets. And this is a raw photo, and this is with my preset on it, and that looks really, really good. So, that's basically it. I accidentally used my scroll wheel to go to some other photos, but that's basically it. There were a couple videos filmed on the EOS R50 and the 85mm lens, a YouTube short. It's going to be linked right in this top corner up here. Make sure you guys check that out. But these were the photos that we looked at, and let's head out to an outro and get this thing on the way.
Alrighty guys, so we just finished looking at these photos, and you saw a good amount of them. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. You guys might not notice, but I'm wearing a different hoodie. I just got off work, and it's also dark outside, so forgive me on that. But I love this camera setup, 85mm f2 EOS R50. It fits ergonomically well in my hand. It feels good. I have relatively small hands though, so it feels good in my hands, and I can wear this almost every day. And when I say wear, I mean on my Peak Design Capture Clip, which is one of my favorite things of all time. Anyways, it's lightweight, it's compact, it puts out beautiful images as you see, and you can put these, print them out or use them as a professional photographer or as a just hobbyist who wants to take good photos. The touch screen is amazing. The flippy screen is something that I love, and yeah, we'll get more into details of this specific camera in a separate video because that's going to take a very long time to master this camera, and then also filming that. It'll probably be split into segments just because there's so much to learn about this camera. If you guys want to see something specific about this camera, let me know in the comments below, and I highly suggest getting set up with this if you enjoy shooting on prime lenses. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys have a beautiful day, and as always, peace. God bless y'all, and see you in the next one. Mucho besos.